Under the warm sun, Johnny and Suzy laugh, tossing a bright red ball back and forth. The red ball veers off course, bouncing playfully into the dark, silent woods. Johnny and Suzy step into the woods, their eyes searching the forest floor. Their ball bounces deeper into the trees, leading them further into the unknown. In the tranquil woods, a mysterious, shimmering ring materializes in a clearing. The ball rolls towards the ring, an unwitting participant in the unfolding mystery. The ball passes through the glowing ring, disappearing without a trace. The forest holds its breath as the ball vanishes, leaving only the echo of the unknown. Johnny and Suzy cautiously step through the ring. They arrive in a dusty Wild West town. Cowboys roam the streets. The saloon's piano music drifts through the air. Johnny and Suzy step into the saloon, their senses alert as they take in the atmosphere. Johnny and Suzy move deeper into the saloon, their presence unnoticed. The tension in the room thickens, palpable and suffocating. One cowboy slams his cards on the table, his face contorted with rage. The other cowboy rises slowly, his eyes narrowed, his hand reaching for his gun. Johnny steps forward, his voice cutting through the silence. Suzy moves to his side, her hand resting on his arm, a silent warning. The cowboys pause, their attention drawn to the newcomers. The saloon holds its breath, waiting for the inevitable explosion. Johnny's eyes lock with those of the cowboys, a silent challenge. The fate of the saloon hangs in the balance, suspended in a moment of tense anticipation. The air crackles with tension as two cowboys engage in a high-stakes card game. Their faces, etched with determination, hint at the intensity of the moment. The other cowboy mirrors his intensity, his gaze unwavering. Johnny and Suzy exchange a knowing glance, sensing the impending conflict. Suzy nods subtly, her expression mirroring Johnny's concern. The cowboys remain locked in their game, oblivious to the newcomers. A bead of sweat trickles down one cowboy's temple, betraying his anxiety. The other cowboy's hand hovers near his gun, a subtle threat. A red ball rolls from the saloon, a harbinger of chaos in the dusty street. A stagecoach, horses wild and free, barrels down the street, a collision imminent. Johnny and Suzy exchange a knowing look, the unspoken plan solidifying between them. The stagecoach is safe. The townspeople express their gratitude. The townspeople watch, their faces a mixture of hope and uncertainty. Silence descends upon the town, broken only by the wind. A lone tumbleweed rolls across the deserted street. The sun sets, casting long shadows over the Wild West town. The fate of Johnny and Suzy remains unknown. Amidst the cheers, the townspeople point towards a glowing ring. Johnny and Suzy exchange a look, a silent agreement passing between them. They begin to walk towards the glowing ring, their figures small against the vast landscape. The ring shimmers, a portal to the unknown. Johnny pauses, a hint of apprehension in his eyes. Suzy places a reassuring hand on his arm. Together, they step through the glowing ring. The ring vanishes, leaving the town behind. Johnny and Suzy emerge from the ring, their eyes struggling to adjust to the blinding Egyptian sun. The air crackles with heat, blurring the edges of the ancient world around them. Towering pyramids rise in the distance, their ancient stones whispering tales of forgotten gods and long-lost empires. Johnny and Suzy venture into the pyramid's dark heart. He leaps back, narrowly avoiding a deadly pit. A volley of arrows shoots out from the walls. Suzy deflects them with her sword, her movements swift and precise. The pyramid tests their courage and skill at every turn. They press on, determined to uncover the secrets hidden within. A massive stone door blocks their path, adorned with intricate carvings. Johnny searches for a way to open it, his fingers tracing the ancient symbols. Suzy stands guard, her sword drawn, ready to defend against any unseen threat. With a resounding rumble, the stone door begins to slide open. A wave of anticipation washes over them as they prepare to face what lies ahead. Hieroglyphs crawl across the walls, whispering secrets of ages past. The air grows heavy with the weight of history and the threat of hidden dangers. Johnny cautiously steps forward, his eyes scanning the walls. Suzy follows closely, her senses on high alert. A sense of foreboding settles over them as they delve deeper into the maze. A glint of light catches Johnny's eye, revealing a hidden pressure plate. Suzy warns him to stop, her voice barely a whisper. Too late. A section of the floor crumbles beneath Johnny's feet. A red ball rolls through the pyramid's ancient corridors, setting off a chain of riddles and traps. Johnny steps into the passage, his torch cutting through the darkness, revealing a treacherous path ahead. Suzy follows closely behind, her senses on high alert, ready to react to any danger. The passage narrows, forcing them to proceed single file, the walls closing in around them. Suddenly, the floor beneath them gives way, sending them tumbling into a hidden chamber below. They land with a thud, dust and debris swirling around them as they try to regain their bearings. As the dust settles, they realize they are in a vast chamber, filled with ancient artifacts and forgotten treasures. A glint of gold catches Johnny's eye, leading him to a pedestal where a jeweled scarab rests. As he reaches for the scarab, a hidden mechanism activates, triggering a series of deadly traps. Darts fly from the walls, and the floor begins to crumble, testing their agility and quick thinking. Johnny and Suzy dodge and weave, narrowly avoiding the traps, their hearts pounding in their chests. Johnny and Suzy venture deeper into the pyramid, their expressions a mix of determination and trepidation. With a final leap, they escape the chamber, the scarab clutched tightly in Johnny's hand. They stand panting, adrenaline coursing through their veins, victorious but shaken by their near-death experience. Suzy follows closely behind Johnny, her eyes darting around, alert to any sign of danger. Flickering torchlight dances across the walls, casting long, eerie shadows that seem to come alive. A stone tablet appears, etched with cryptic symbols that hint at the first riddle. Johnny studies the symbols intently, his brow furrowed in concentration as he tries to decipher their meaning. Suzy nervously glances around, her hand resting on the hilt of her dagger, ready for any threat. With a sudden click, a section of the wall slides open, revealing a dark and narrow passage. Johnny and Suzy exchange a look, a silent agreement passing between them as they prepare to face the unknown. In the heart of the pyramid, dust motes swirl in a beam of light, illuminating Johnny and Suzy before a massive sarcophagus. The ball rests innocently nearby, unaware of the ancient power stirring. Johnny and Suzy emerge from the pyramid, the ball clutched tightly in their hands. The Nile River shimmers in the distance, reflecting the desert sun. A glowing ring pulsates with ethereal light near the riverbank. Johnny and Suzy step through the ring, ready for anything. Johnny takes a tentative step forward, venturing into the unknown. Suzy follows, her initial awe giving way to cautious curiosity. The ground beneath their feet feels solid, real. A flying car zooms past, its sleek design catching their attention. Johnny and Suzy watch it disappear into the distance. They exchange a look, a silent acknowledgement of the incredible reality they now inhabit. The city beckons, promising adventure and untold possibilities. Johnny grins, a sense of excitement washing over him. Suzy smiles, her apprehension replaced by a sense of adventure. Together, they step forward, ready to explore the futuristic world. The ring shimmers, then vanishes, leaving them in a world beyond imagination. They emerge into a gleaming, futuristic city, a breathtaking vista of towering skyscrapers and flying cars. Flying cars weave through the sky, a ballet of light and motion. Skyscrapers pierce the clouds, their surfaces reflecting the sun. Johnny stares up, speechless, at the architectural marvels surrounding him. Suzy gasps, her eyes wide with wonder at the sheer scale of the city. The city hums with energy, a symphony of futuristic sounds. They stand together, dwarfed by the immensity of the futuristic metropolis. A vibrant red ball bounces erratically through the futuristic transportation hub, catching the eyes of passers-by. The red ball bounces closer to a group of people. Johnny pushes through the crowd, his hand reaching for the red ball. Suzy calls out to Johnny, her voice barely audible above the noise. The red ball bounces away from Johnny's grasp. Johnny stumbles, his eyes widening as the red ball rolls towards a moving vehicle. Suzy gasps, her hand flying to her mouth as she watches the red ball. The red ball bounces directly into the path of the vehicle. Johnny dives forward, his body outstretched as he tries to reach the red ball. Suzy watches in horror as Johnny risks everything for the bouncing red sphere. The vehicle screeches to a halt, narrowly missing Johnny. The transportation hub pulses with life, a symphony of movement as people and vehicles surge through its arteries. Johnny clutches the red ball tightly, his breath coming in ragged gasps. Amidst the chaos, Johnny and Suzy emerge, their focus laser-locked on the elusive red sphere. Suzy's gaze remains fixed on the bouncing red sphere. They weave through the crowd, determined to catch the bouncing red sphere. Suzy follows Johnny, navigating the crowd. The red ball continues its erratic dance. Johnny quickens his pace, his determination growing with each bounce of the red ball. Suzy struggles to keep up, her eyes never leaving the bouncing red sphere. Johnny and Suzy embark on a high-speed chase, their figures silhouetted against the futuristic cityscape. Suzy swerves to avoid an obstacle, her reflexes sharp as she stays on course. Johnny accelerates, his speed increasing as he gains ground on the elusive ball. The chase reaches its climax as they approach their destination, the city holding its breath in anticipation. Johnny and Suzy continue their high-speed chase, their determination unwavering. The futuristic city blurs around them as they navigate its complex skyways. Neon lights paint the streets with vibrant colors, adding to the intensity of the chase. They pursue the ball relentlessly, their movements fluid and synchronized. The city's skyline looms above them, a constant reminder of the stakes. Their determination fuels their pursuit, pushing them to their limits. The chase continues, their silhouettes disappearing into the neon-lit streets. The chase intensifies as they navigate the city's intricate skyways, the wind whipping through their hair. Suzy matches Johnny's pace, her movements fluid and agile as she keeps the ball in sight. Neon lights blur as they race through the streets, the city's vibrant energy fueling their pursuit. The ball soars through the air, a beacon guiding them through the urban maze. Suzy leaps across a gap, her athleticism on full display as she closes in on the target. Johnny slides under a low-hanging structure, his agility allowing him to maintain the chase. The city's skyline becomes a backdrop to their relentless pursuit, a testament to their determination. Neon signs flash, casting vibrant colors across their faces as they push their limits. In the zero-gravity arena, a ball drifts weightlessly, challenging Johnny and Suzy to adapt. Johnny watches, anticipating Suzy's next move in the weightless arena. Suzy's hands meet the ball, securing it in a firm grip. Johnny applauds Suzy's successful catch, a smile spreading across his face. Suzy clutches the ball, maintaining her position in the center of the arena. Johnny propels himself towards Suzy, ready to strategize their next play. Suzy nods, acknowledging Johnny's approach as they prepare their next move. Johnny points towards a distant target, outlining their strategy in the zero gravity. Suzy adjusts her grip on the ball, ready to execute their plan in the weightless environment. Johnny and Suzy exchange a determined look, ready to coordinate their efforts in the zero gravity arena. Johnny floats in the arena, eyes fixed on the drifting ball, adjusting to the lack of gravity. Suzy orients herself in the weightless environment, preparing to intercept the ball. Johnny propels himself forward, reaching for the ball with outstretched hands. Suzy pushes off the wall, aiming to position herself for the catch. Johnny's fingers graze the ball, altering its trajectory slightly. Suzy adjusts her course midair, compensating for the ball's altered path. Johnny extends a hand to steady himself against a wall, preventing over-rotation. Suzy closes in on the ball, her focus intensifying as she prepares to make the catch. In the zero-gravity arena, Johnny and Suzy float effortlessly, their bodies poised in a graceful ballet. They spin and glide, a seamless blend of agility and harmony. Their hands stretch out, seeking the smooth surface of the ball. In a final, synchronized surge, their fingers lock around the ball. Johnny and Suzy burst through a glowing ring, landing back in their familiar park. Suzy's eyes meet John's, a hint of a smile playing on her lips. They stand together, forever bound by the secrets they now share. The world stretches before them, filled with new possibilities. They take a step forward, ready to face whatever comes next. The path ahead is uncertain, but they are not afraid. They walk on, their footsteps echoing softly in the afternoon sun. The park fades behind them, a chapter closed, a new one beginning. Their silhouettes grow smaller as they disappear into the distance. They stand, catching their breath, the echoes of their journey still ringing in their ears. Sunlight dapples the grass around them, a stark contrast to the worlds they've seen. They turn to each other, a silent acknowledgement of the trials they've faced. A shared glance passes between them, filled with unspoken understanding. The park seems ordinary, yet everything feels different now. The swings hang motionless, a silent reminder of simpler times. A gentle breeze rustles the leaves, carrying whispers of their adventure. Johnny reaches out, his fingers brushing against Suzy's hand.